What it do, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the Ultra Rare channel. My name is Marz, for those of you who don't know. And today we are going to be reviewing the new DLC for Kakarot, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot DLC 5, the 23rd World Tournament. And let me tell you, because those of you who've been following me on the channel, we've been streaming the game. I haven't beaten the main story yet, but I wanted to play this actual DLC, and I am enjoying the game thoroughly, like really good. It's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot, but we're gonna get into that. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that I made a new channel called the Capsule Corp Security, okay? And on that channel, we're going to be reviewing the movies, all the movies. We're reviewing all the shows, all the episodes. We're going to be reviewing the manga and anything else Dragon Ball Z related. We're also going to be reviewing as well, because that game or movie and manga Sandland by Akira Toriyama came out, and we're going to talk about that. So if you want to see that kind of content, go ahead and subscribe to that channel over there. The link will be in the description, and so on and so forth. The Capsule Corp Security, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the motherfucking team. Okay, that being said, let's talk about the DLC, okay? The Kakarot DLC, the 23rd World Tournament has been released. And I must say, I am enjoying it because it has all the nostalgic feels. Like, it feels good. I feel good reliving the story. It feels good fighting the characters. And the best thing about it, in my opinion, for somebody who hasn't been playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for that long, but we have been playing the game recently, is the ground combat. The ground combat feels amazing. It reminds me of Naruto, Ninja Storm, and all the other Naruto games before that, how we're dodging and dipping and teleporting and doing all the moves on the ground and stuff. I love that aspect of the game. I love the fights. I love the boss battles and the storytelling. CC2 is doing a tremendous job of telling this story. So if you never even watched Dragon Ball itself, and you don't even know this story or how these people came about, how Piccolo came about, how King Piccolo was there, and how everybody met and everything, they are doing a fantastic job by telling that story. I briefly talked about the ground combat, and I must say the ground combat is 10 times better, in my opinion, than the actual air combat. The air combat is cool, flying around, beating people up and everything, but being on the ground and having to be able to jump over moves and dodge, sidestep, and then the way you charge at a character and do your moves, and then you can actually juggle a little bit. There's a little bit of a combo that you can do inside when you're playing. Is actually dope, man. I want to see more of this in the game. I don't know if they're going to use this format for Tenkaichi 4. That will be a good idea, right? That's a whole nother topic for another day, but that kind of will take away from Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi, because not every character can fly in Dragon Ball Z, but this is not a Budokai Tenkaichi 4 video. We'll save that for another day. Now, the DLC, I haven't played any of the other DLCs to compare and be like, oh my gosh, this is the best one and this is the greatest one, but this is my first one, and I will say that I am ecstatic and that they did a good job, and I'm happy. It is a little bit short. It's not that long, and once again, I've referenced, I have not played the other ones to tell you how long or how short the other ones are, but it took me about maybe 2 to 3 hours to beat the main story, and then there's new, Game Plus after it to level up your characters and so on and so forth. They introduced in this, they also introduced Tien Shinhan. You can use him as a usable character, and man, trying to hit people with that goddamn tri-beam was hard, okay? The fights, let's talk about the fights in this, right? The first fight that you do, I struggled. I died a couple of times before I was actually able to beat it, which is cool. I'm all about struggling in the games and whatnot. And then the second fight, I also struggled. It was also a struggle for me as well. It's not a skill issue because I'm God tier, right? Maybe not. Well, to be determined. But it definitely was a challenge trying to, one, learn the new combat being on the ground and trying to jump, right? Because jump, you can change the buttons around, but jumping is on the trigger, one of the trigger buttons, and you can jump in the air and do moves like that and hold, and you can stay up in the air for a short period of time, but you can't fly. That was cool. So staying on the ground was cool, and the fights were cool. Now, when you get to the World Tournament, there are some fights that I wish you could have had, right? I wish you could have watched Piccolo fight Krillin, I wish that was a cool fight we could have seen. No, or we could have did, but that wasn't a thing. Chi-Chi versus Goku, that wasn't a thing. But I mean, who wants to fight Chi-Chi? Chi-Chi had the hands. She was throwing hands. So we should have been able to play as Chi-Chi, and she should just be able to fight other characters. Of course, nobody crazy, but she'd be able to fight other humans, right? And then Tien versus General Tao, okay? Mercenary Tao, robot, Mercenary Tai, Cyborg Mercenary Tao was actually a dope match as well. But the difference is now in this version of the game that there is ring outs. You get ringed out. When your health becomes 1/3, you're able to be getting knocked out of the ring and you'll lose the match because it is tournament style. So you have to stay away from the edges or you will get knocked out of the ring by an attack. And you cannot use items because this is the tournament style gameplay. You cannot use your items. But what they do is if you die, you have to smash a button to get up before the count of 10. So once you die, they'll start the countdown from 10 and you have to mash B until you get up and wake up. And I think you can only do that probably like 3 or 4 times and then you actually lose if you keep dying. So that makes it a little bit easy. And I'm okay with that because, you know, there's people that just want to play the game and play the story. But I want there also to be a little bit of a challenge. I want there to maybe be 1 countdown or maybe even the enemy get countdown, because once you beat the enemy, there is no countdown for them. You beat them and you beat them. They don't get a chance to count to 10 and go again. I would think that would be pretty cool if they added that aspect in there, but it doesn't take away from how good this DLC is. Now, if you're playing Kakarot and you haven't played any of the other DLCs or if you haven't bought any of the season passes, the game will cost about $14, $15 roughly if you want to buy that version of the DLC. That's what I did because I haven't gotten to the point where I wanted to play the other DLCs, and this one is a prequel to where I'm at in the story now. I love Dragon Ball Z, so I know everything that happens, but I don't think it's going to affect my gameplay now because this is going back in time and it doesn't spoil anything. I will also mention that there are a lot of cutscenes in here, and it's just like you're watching the show in better graphics, right? The voice acting is on par for the most part. I don't have a problem with it. Everybody sounds the same. All the voices sound the same. It's cool. It really brings home the nostalgic feeling for me, and I enjoyed it and loved it. So you guys have to play it. If you think you're questioning it, oh, maybe I might not like it, it might not be good, blah, 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 blah. The ground combat is cool. The different kinds of rules that they have for the tournament are cool. The fights are cool. The story is cool. Everything is cool. Overall, I do recommend you guys checking out this DLC patch if you haven't already. Yeah, then I don't want to take up too much of your time because it's not that long of a DLC and it's not that much to talk about. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. My name is Marz, and don't forget to remember, we got a new channel, ladies and gentlemen, the Capsule Corp Security. That is the name of the people who subscribe to this channel. You now become an employee of the Capsule Corp Security Gang. And we have a whole new channel where we're going to be reviewing everything, talking about what happens and breakdowns of movies and so on and so forth. I'm excited to start this channel. I'm excited to launch that channel. This channel is still mainly going to be about all the games and stuff that we are going to be playing on, all the Dragon Ball Z games. I have a list, all right? We streaming. I'm just throwing this out here. We're going to be streaming a lot of the Dragon Ball Z games and having a lot of topics and discussions over here, where on the other ones, videos will probably drop maybe once a week, maybe once every other week about a movie review or a manga chapter review or just a topic that I wanted to talk about in the Dragon Ball Z world. Like the question here, right? Here is the question that I'm going to leave you guys with that somebody just asked me. Whose fault is it that Cell became perfect Cell? Is it Vegeta's fault or is it Krillin's fault, right? Let me know down in the comments below, and that'll be a question that will be asked on the new channel. So if you made it this far in the video and you subscribe to the Capsule Corp Security channel, that question is going to be answered. I'll make a whole video on that question. Look at that, Marz. Look at you doing over there. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.